it's not even rude, yeah, but they actually might make it and take me out of the hood. Do you know what I mean?
As soon as my friends are like, oh yeah, look, this guy, I'm just like, oh, what's his surname? Let's see if it matches yours.
like what's gonna be the wedding hashtag?
Hi, I'm Tonya Mack, director, filmmaker, and storyteller. Amongst my peers, the narratives around dating have felt really toxic and negative of late, so I wanted to create a space to have fun, honest, and grounded conversations. It's time to change the story. This is Dating Black.
It's so love, 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 it's so love.
Explain to me the most delusional you've ever been in a relationship.
Oh, gosh.
That is so violent.
It is quite violent, isn't it?
Most of my situationships have been delusional.
You and someone are vibing and you're just like, 2 kids, a nice townhouse in Stockwell, intimate wedding, maybe something destination, and he ain't even asked you to be his girl yet. That's when you're just like, right.
They're like telling you, yeah, like, we're in it and it's all good and da-da-da-da-da. And then something happens and they'll be like, no. And then something happens and they'll be like, oh, no, it's not really that. And you're just like, pardon me, what?
I was in hospital and he had just, situationship broken up with me and I wanted him to be there. And I sent her a picture of myself, like with tubes coming out of my mouth and like just looking like death. And then I was like, look at me. Why are you here? To be, if you really said that you wanted to be with me before, imagine before, you would be here. I just sent him like, sent him literally like an essay and he never even replied back. He never replied back. He read it, but he didn't reply back on the spot.
So what did he say a few days later?
Hope you're okay.
Oh my gosh.
As women, sometimes we get with guys and they don't necessarily touch our love languages, but we think in the future we can teach them because as women, we think we can teach the best teachers. So I think that in that delusion, in that sense, like I think I've given a lot of guys the blind, just been like, oh, you could get to this type of person.
Basically, there was Valentine's Day was coming up and I was seeing this guy. People who follow me probably have heard the story before, but it's a very important story. And I will say it forever, okay? So I was dating this guy and he basically so Valentine's Day is the 14th, right? So I stopped hearing from this guy like around the 11th of February. I wasn't really hearing from him, do you know what I mean? The text messages slowed down. I was thinking, okay. So any normal girl would think, okay, he's moving mad. Like, I need to make plans. Not Rita. Rita thought that he had gone quiet because he's planning a surprise for us for Valentine's Day. My friend actually wanted us to do something on Valentine's Day. I said, sis, I don't need to make no plans because I'm gonna have something to do on Valentine's Day. And then Valentine's Day comes around. Obviously no message, is it? And I'm thinking, this is strange, all right? What's going on here? I go on Twitter, on his page, I keep refreshing it to see if he's awake. Do you know what I mean? Has he tweeted? What's going on? This, that. Finally, I see a tweet. And my guy's in Spain, right? He puts a McDonald's burger, a Spanish burger. Even at this point, I'm like, have they got a new burger? Later on, I'm still refreshing. I'm still thinking that a surprise is loading. Do you know what I mean? Maybe I'm gonna get flowers. Maybe he's gonna just turn up. Do you know what I mean? Something. Yeah. Nothing. Refresh his page. This guy is fully in Spain with another woman. Shut up. In Spain, doing enjoyment, doing up and down McDonald's, not with me.
Don't act like you ain't picked out baby names. Don't try it.
I haven't. Now what? It's you and your own. Mine went on a lunch. Mine went on a lunchtime.
You and your veggie babies.
Mine went on a lunchtime date and said she picked baby names from her lunch date.
No, not from my lunch date.
Did you speak to him again after that?
We didn't talk about it, no. Because it was a situationship. And that's the thing about situationships. Like, you can't confront, really. Do you know what I mean? Well, I think you can, but growing up, when I was younger, I didn't think I could. But I think now it's like, hold on a second. No, you've been holding my hand, kissing my forehead and my nose We've got something here. We're gonna talk about it.
Why do we create these scenarios in our head with men and like it's like and then we expect them to do stuff for it, like we project it onto them, and then when they don't do it, we're proper upset. Like
it is kind of mad because as soon as my friends are like, oh yeah, look, this guy, I'm just like, oh, what's his surname? Let's see if it matches.
Yeah, like what's gonna be their wedding hashtag?
It's not even rude, yeah, but they actually might make it and take me out of the hood. Do you know what I mean? You know them aspiring something.
And do you know what, yeah?
Aspiring footballers, aspiring artists. Like you think, this is it. It's my ticket out.
Why do we do it?
It's Disney, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, we just want it to be this fairy tale, but it's the reality of life is it's not.
What do you realise about yourself when you're in love? Like, are you different to like your normal self when you're single?
First of all, I don't think I've been in love yet. But what I have noticed being in I've been doing some really disappointing things that, you know, I didn't even want to tell my friends. And when I did, they just felt really sick. Just things I'm against.
When I'm in love, yeah, for some reason, everything is just bright. Yeah. You know, when it's so good, it's so good. It just feels like happy days and everything just feels good.
Made him jollof rice. I would have never, ever have done that before.
Really?
Ever.
You've changed.
Right?
Do you not like cooking?
I don't cook for men.
Oh,
do you know what I mean? I've always had this really strong stance on like not cooking for men because I'm just like, you're not my boyfriend. I'm not married to you. I'm not gonna be making you food. But then in you know, I did that, helping to clean in the kitchen. I did that. That made me feel physically sick as well.
Once I'm into someone, like I'm into them, like I feel like I think for them and for me.
When I'm single and like proper alone, I can have good news and the good news just doesn't hit as hard. And it's something that something that I've had to just take into account because you think, oh, do I want a relationship or do I want to be single? You know, sometimes being in a relationship, there's distracting things, whatever. However, loneliness can be quite distracting as well. I know that I want a relationship, but I want a relationship with a guy that keeps me focused. So then I just get the best of both worlds. And I am going to get the best of both worlds. Amen?
Amen.
All right.
Like, when you started to fall in love with your husband, like, what were the things that you were doing that's, like, a bit you wouldn't usually do so easily?
So I come across as really, like, hard body. That's why I'm just, like, trying to avoid the question.
No.
It feels like you've just opened up my weakness. No, seriously, that's why I'm actually trying to avoid the question.
See, and I'm all here like, no, answer it. Yeah, because I feel like I just exposed myself. Do you know what I mean? And then she's just like, oh, I don't know.
If I'm like planning something for myself, I'll think about, okay, how does what they want to do entwine with this? Like, and I always say, like, if I'm into you, I'm gonna dream big for me and dream big for you. Do you know what I mean? And I find that I'm very good at sharing that.
One thing I've noticed, if he's kind of about that life, the kind of like road life, whatever, I've noticed how mothering I can be. Like, as in, like, are you at home? You know, how are we gonna stop this or Just so much worry and care, and I think that's probably one of the most stressful things about being with not even just someone who's about that life, but being with someone that's black. Like, I just need you to be okay because that's all I care about. Like, literally, even if you've ignored my text, sometimes if I just see you post something online, I'm like, oh God, he's alive. Oh God, he's not been arrested.
Yeah, you do become like really mushy and like you start to just do things that make you sick, like saying I love you and and you know, like being the first to suggest dates. That for me was like a big no-no. But when you're in love, you're just like, yeah, let's just do everything today. Let's go to the restaurant, let's go cinema. In fact, I'll pay. You know, you don't, all your rules and regulations just go out the window and you just look at yourself at the end of the day like, this is actually sickening, but I'm in love.
It's interesting that you said I love you made you sick. Like, saying I love you made you sick.
Yeah, it does.
Have you said that more than once?
What I've had to now, innit? Yeah. Otherwise he'll divorce me.
To different people, sorry.
Oh, no, I don't think I've said that to... No, I haven't. Just my husband, yeah.
You did it one time.
Just one time, that was it.
100% success rate.
Literally. He was my first real boyfriend.
Really?
Everyone else was just situationship.
Are you a hopeless romantic?
It's like, what does that even mean? Like,
Do you love love?
Do I love love? Oh, I love love. I love love. I'm really trying to have like a positive outlook on love and the prospects. Despite the past, we're gonna keep on going and going.
Do you know what? Yeah, I'm not a hopeless romantic, but I love love. Like, I love seeing people in love. I love, I just love watching love stories. I like the thought of being in love soon. I just like it. Like, I'm just a proper love person. I love my friends.
Love.
I proper love it.
Love.
Yeah.
Of course, you love love. You're in love.
Yeah. You know.
Love is sweet, you know. It's beautiful. Like, I feel like love is the strongest ever emotion, and like not even just emotion, it's the strongest action. Like, it's love versus hate. Like, love is gonna win. Do you know what I mean? Like, love outweighs everything. If God is love, then what can go against God? What can go against love? Nothing.
You know what's funny? Uche used to always try to act like she just didn't really care about it.
I was just about to say, I
Even on
genuinely
my birthday.
don't like generally, when I think about the jungle, I'm just like, ugh.
No, but you're like a
I love
hopeless
love.
romantic, yeah.
I love love, but I'm not like a,
I can't wait. No. Not in like a
But when
super
I'm-
fairy tale way.
yeah, but
But I feel like I'm very optimistic about it. I'm like, I'm gonna find.
yeah, you are.
know, I don't.
But I also think because you're quite young, not young but like, I think the age gap between like 23 and 27, those 4 years actually are quite big in the dating space.
Yeah,
How a 23-year-old, 24, 25, 26 and 27-year-old women date is so different, and how you're perceived by men is so different.
I'm quite an affectionate person, like in general. Like, if anyone knows me, like with friends, family, like I'm always like, love you, and I want to hug, and like, you know, all of that. So I feel like naturally I'm a hopeless romantic. But saying that, I haven't really been in situations and dating where I'm getting all the hopeless romantic. So I probably definitely admire it, but I don't experience it.
Love also has a very toxic side to it as well. So.
No, there's no toxic side to love, sis. I don't know. How can love be toxic?
No, but there's a toxic side to love, as in like, because love is so strong, I think people who are trying to attain love and people who, because with love there's jealousy, there's envy, there's so much things that stem out of love.
That's not love.
No, it is.
It's not.
You can love someone so much that you're jealous. Like, there's so much jealousy in relationships. There's so many stories of men who literally will rather their woman die than be with someone else because they love them so much.
That's not love.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. There's a toxic side to
The
it.
person that you love.
No, but you don't want that person to be with anyone else because they're yours.
So tell me, what's the difference between 24? Because I'm 24 and you're.
I think you're in the desirable age. If I'm being really honest, when I talk to like, I'm about to 27, so I say this from like a, yeah. Because even when I talk to like my male friends, they don't want to date women our age because they feel like women our age are looking for marriage, which...
So it's a little bit more...
Younger girls or younger women, I feel like you guys are more desirable because you're a bit more like, you're not like, oh, marriage. Did you get what I mean? You're just more like, okay, good. Like, are we on the same vibe? Okay, let's like...
And that's very much the energy in our house. I'm very much like...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like, you know, find someone soon, yeah.
Whereas my
You're
age mates are like, what job does he do? Like, can we get a mortgage in 2 years? Like, it's a very different energy. Like,
What do you think has changed about the way you date, like, as you've gotten older?
I think I'm definitely more intentional. Boundaries are set up front. Like, just as a person now, like, I don't, like, if I don't want to do something, I'm not doing it. And that doesn't even necessarily mean, like, anything like sexual or anything like that. That just means going out. Like, whereas before, I felt obliged, like, oh, I want to go out next week. I've booked here. And I would never feel like I could say no.
Me as a single woman, like, in terms of my views of love, it has still changed because I think that it's gone from being that fairy tale thing to being realistic. Like, a lot of my friends are in committed relationships, a lot of my friends are engaged, married and stuff. And I've seen the reality of love. And that's why I don't feel like I have a fairy tale vision of it. Like, I think it's very much real. And when it comes, it's definitely going to be something that I know is going to take a lot from me.
I think the one thing I've learned through just observing relationships and obviously dating and stuff is that you can't put expectations on people.
I used to think, oh, you have an argument, we need to be walking out. Like, I'm like, couples, they argue. Like, even when married couples that I think are like perfect, when they tell me they argue, I'm just like, huh, what? Like, you lot don't seem, she's like, yeah, like nearly every day. And I'm just like, what? Like, huh? But yeah, like people argue and you just have to like resolve it in a way that is respectful, mature, and that will bring peace.
The expectation to expect them to make you happy, to make you laugh, to make you cry, like you can't put that all on one person because one, it's a lot of pressure. And two, I think it's important to have different streams of happiness.
Fran, how has your idea of love changed since you've kind of been in a relationship? Because all of this, you've been doing, you're high pitch. No, you're making us sick.
Do you know what I mean? Like, what?
I always say like only take advice to an extent because everyone's relationship is different. Do you know what I mean?
I think it's no longer like romanticized. I think it's like a little bit more realistic. And yeah, I used to feel like, oh, like I remember one of the first arguments we had was about our views of love. And I was like, love is an action. And he was like, love is an emotion. I was like, well, if that's what you think, then this is not going anywhere fast.
Describe your love life right now with one song or a song that represents your love life right now.
Giveon, do you know what I mean? She's a Giveon babe right now. All the best.
Tori Kelly, Dear No One.
Oh, that sounds sad.
Yeah.
What song has the word dry in it?
I'm Young Blue.
Young Blue.
Yeah, all of it. Miss it. Next question.
Next
question.
Tiana Major and Earth Gang collide. What's wrong with you? Or Kehlani and Lucky Day, Can You Blame Me?
Our song is actually Bank on It by Burna Boy.
song?
But it's not, Burna Boy is, obviously it's a different version, but not version, but different meaning slightly. But it's more like, it's guaranteed, do you know what I mean? Like, I will show up type of thing. So whatever happens, do you know what I mean? Yeah. What can I say, guys? Fasting and prayer.
Is that what you did?
And I didn't, you know, but
Exactly.
I would advise it.
Don't tell fake advice.
I would advise it.
My favourite Beyonce song, yeah? Of course, it's going to lead to Beyonce, it wouldn't be me. Love drought, yeah? And right now there's a love drought, as in like, I'm not in love with anybody, so there's a love drought. But I know when I fall in, but I know when I fall in love with someone, will cause a love drought, basically.
That's beautiful.
Men marry the women that are available to them when they're ready and not the love of their lives.
I think in part, yeah. But in saying that, I also do know men who literally married the love of their lives. And I think on the reverse, if you're a man who's put other things prior to relationships, it comes to you at a different point in the timeline. Men reach a certain point where it's like, right, not all the men in my rolling to five aside anymore because they've all got wives and girls. I guess I should settle down. And then they take a look from the top of the mountain and it's like that one. Why can't you still be guided by love in that process? Like, you've got the intentionality behind it. Does that mean you just have to pick anyone who's available? Like, I don't understand.
Messiah is killing me.
Do you know what it is?
Is she ad-libbing?
No, I'm not ad-libbing. I'm supporting. Oh my God, I'm supporting.
Okay.
God. What becomes important to you changes. So I don't think necessarily you don't marry the love of your life, but I think your concept of love is just a different thing. Do you know what I mean? Like when you're younger, what people are talking about is that passionate one, the girl that when you saw her, you were ready to rip her clothes off, or the guy when you saw him, you couldn't breathe. And because your world is maybe smaller or things you've seen, that becomes the most overwhelming feeling you've ever had. So you kind of make that synonymous with, oh, my love of my life. I don't think the madam should get away with that, even that blight that we're giving them. Do you know what it is? Let me come back again. I'm going to kind of say this all the time. You see, people now, yeah, they're on social media just talking too much about what girls are bad or what boys are bad, yeah? And what happens is that you spend so much time talking about that, yeah, you yourself are forgetting yourself and decaying, right? And then now, you went to go and find the love of your life. You went to go get a baddest that you were saying, oh, my girl must be this. Then when you now get engaged, you now reveal this person and everyone's like, excuse me, why?
Sir, you sold us a different brand.
No, and that's the problem it is.
A different
That's why some
brand.
people are looking at them like, oh, you didn't get the love of your life because you spent so much time telling us what a love of your life should be. So yes, this is to everybody out there. Keep your mouth quiet and let your girl shine. Do you know what I mean? Because your girl might not have a back and she might not have breasts. Okay? And she might be, do you know what I mean? So then what are you gonna do then?
You're not gonna marry her. Thank you. No, I'm sorry. I don't like this nonsense that they always do, pressuring all of us. Then the girl that comes, you'll be in the gym thinking, let me work on my
I need
abs.
to be that
And the girl
girl
they
to
marry
get pics.
has 4 stomachs as well.
Yeah.
No, but not in a bad way. But I'm saying, not negatively. Do you know what I mean?
Not negatively.
You'll be getting this
Negatively, she said as well. That's the thing.
No, but it's
in addition to all the other things that you've slapped
which
on
is
her.
good. Which
She
is
ain't got
good.
no back, no bum, 4 stomachs. Wonderful.
Yeah, and then you'll be saying to us that we should be doing something, and us there will be doing
There
crap.
is definitely way too much.
What's that thing called?
Crunches. She doesn't even know.
The game is rigged, man.
Very much so.
Even us lot, yeah, when we think about when someone goes, what's your ideal guy? And the guy you've linked, they don't correlate.
I mean, mine correlates, I think.
Hers correlates.
Oh yeah, her one correlates.
Yeah, she sticks
Man draws her men, bro. and puts it in the oven. And just,
The thing is, I put the correlation column.
oh yeah, rise. Bare yeast in her pictures.
Hey,
Come
listen,
out.
I want that Adam blessing still, right?
You want
God
the
just
what?
creates the
Adam,
woman for you.
Bone of your bone, innit?
When I went to go and eat the apple after Eve, you want Adam. Very good.
I love my wife because I met her, but I loved my child before I met her.
Some men will know automatically by meeting a woman for a day, I want to marry you.
It's so love. 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 It's so love.